Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. Well, on my channel, I've desired to switch things up, change things around. And I think I mentioned this a few videos back, but now I'm really challenged to. I'm really challenged to change the content some kind of way, you know. Um, my daughter, my daughter and I are working on this together. She's helping me work on this, you know. Um, one of the things that she and I discussed just today, we discussed today, is taking full responsibility of our own choices, you know, practicing blaming ourselves and not focusing on the other people that wronged us. Yes, these people wronged us, they wronged us, they wronged us. But now that we have accomplished all that we have by reuniting my daughters, both my daughters and I, both my daughters and I have reunited. But reuniting is just the beginning. Coming back together, enduring all that we've endured is just the beginning. Now the actual work begins. The work where we have to heal among ourselves. We must discuss what all has happened, and that's what we've been doing. We've been discussing the hard stuff, the stuff that we haven't been able to in at least 5 years. 5 years. My daughters and I have been basically estranged. And the one that lives with me, we've been living together for at least, what, 3 years now? We have been estranged under the same roof. Again, this is the daughter who, you know, basically shares a lover with my ex. I mean, she still loved this girl, and he is still involved with her too. So, I mean, love just don't go away, you know. Maybe relationships change, the boundaries change, but I witnessed my husband fall in love with this girl, and I know that my daughter loves her too. And it's an awkward place, but it's not my place. That's their lives. It's not my life anymore. So there's nothing to really talk about anymore, on this channel. Now, I may have fun by making, some crazy little songs and things like that, trendy stuff. But for the most part, it's all well. It's all forgiven. It's all really in the past. What we're experiencing now is more like closure. Closure. Finally, some closure among ourselves. Now, the people out there that wronged us, they're never going to apologize. I have asked over and over for them to apologize. My daughter has asked them to apologize. Would y'all just apologize to my mom? Can y'all just apologize to her? They're too prideful. Their egos are too big to apologize to me. They don't believe they're wrong. They think it's okay to break up a marriage and move on like it's nothing. My marriage meant nothing to these people. It didn't mean nothing to my ex. It didn't mean anything to the sugar baby, to Bree baby, to all the birthday twins, birthday work wives, and all the family and friends that support him as though he's right in all this, and I was the one wrong, you know. So again, I'm releasing all of that. I'm releasing it because I gained my family back. I got my family back. I got my daughters and grandkids back. Now, yes, we have to work on ourselves, work on the relationships. We have to confess and admit stuff, iron through all the bullshit. And we're doing it right now. And in that process, I realized that I need to start releasing all these characters. Release them. They played roles in my life, but it's all over now. Now that I have my family back, it's over now. Now I can release these people, you know. And yes, I do have a desire to, do TV and movies and, be into theatrical things and, you know, drama and all that. But I'm not sure what the content will be. Because again, my daughters still love this girl. Even if they're not all that, they may not be involved, but she still has love for her. And because she does, I'm going to respect that. It was never their fault. Even though the girl was wrong, 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 I don't blame her. The ex is responsible for that. I am responsible for that. I, as a woman, an individual woman who was married, allowed someone else to move into my home. It don't matter the reason. It don't matter the reason. To me, I was just trying to help a young girl who didn't finish high school, didn't have a driver's license, didn't have anything going for her really. She needed somebody to help her, regardless to my daughter, regardless to the ex-husband, regardless to anything else. I saw another person who needed development. Here I am up here working on a PhD. Why was it so hard for me to help somebody else? But that's neither here nor there. I stand corrected. It was pointed out to me that it was wrong to have her there in the first place. No matter my previous experience helping women in her situation, no matter my experience even after her helping women in that situation, regardless. In that situation between my daughter and a husband, I was wrong for having that woman in my home. I was wrong. I admit it and I apologize both to all involved. I apologize to my daughter for letting her in my home. I apologize to her for letting her in my home. Had I never let her in my home, she may not be considered a homewrecker today. I have to take responsibility for that. And I always have. I always have. I've always been very kind and respectful to that young lady. It wasn't reciprocated, but I'm the adult, the mother figure, and I held that role. I treated her just as well as I treated my own daughters. That is what I live by. And I did not cross boundaries. I let her be grown. And I let my ex husband be grown. They were grown people. And they have to answer to God for whatever they need to answer to God for. It's none of my business. I didn't make it my business back then. And I really don't want to make it my business now, other than just, having fun with it. And if I can make some money, that'd be great. If I could make some money off some music and TV shows or whatever, that would be great. But again, I'm going to have to be very mindful from here on out what I say and who I blame and how I do it and all that. Because again, I love my daughter. I respect her heart. I care about her. And I know she still care about this sugar baby. Whether right or wrong, it don't matter. I love my daughter. And again, I want to apologize to all of them. I even want to apologize to my ex-husband for bringing a woman into our home. Yeah, our marriage was over. He already told me he didn't want me. He already made it very, very, very clear. He regretted marrying me, didn't want me, and all of that. But regardless of that, we were still together, still having sex like porn stars. You know what I'm saying? Having the best sex ever, you know. And you may say, well, how could you have great sex when the man didn't even want you? Well, I was molested for 6 years as a child, from ages 5 to 11 by three different uncles. So being loved and cared about for during sex is not required for me. So when my husband told me, fuck you, I don't want your stinky ass no more, but still I need you to cook and clean and raise these kids, I said, okay, whatever. You know, I had been desensitized a long time ago. So that may explain how even watching him fall in love with a teenager in my home was numb, kind of numb. Where it bothered me was how it could affect my daughter. That's where it bothered me. But I kept my daughter away. They were grown. These are grown teenagers, like 19, 20, 21, whatever. They grown. But at the end of the day, I just kept my daughter away. She was mostly um, at the family business with her dad. She was either at the family business with her dad in California, going through rehab or whatever. She was usually gone. So she didn't really get to see the stepfather and the sugar baby really interact. And I was gone a lot too. I was gone too. I had negotiated to be gone 2 months a winter, you know. And then by 2017, when it was time for me to come back from my winter getaway, I actually tried to hang myself, guys. My second suicide attempt happened then. I didn't want to have to deal with this sugar baby and this. I didn't want to have to deal with this shit. 2017, during my son's senior year, I tried to hang myself in Georgia. I just hated the idea of having to come back home, dealing with this situation. And then I know why. I mean, she had taken over. Well, I allowed a woman, I got to start blaming myself. I allowed another woman to take over my home to the point where I wanted to hang myself because I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know how to get her out of it because he refused to let either of us go. He would not pay for me to have my own place, and he wouldn't pay for her to have her own place either. So we were being forced to live together. Again, I allowed all this out. I'm trying to stop blaming others, you know. But how can I tell the story without assigning where things need to go? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I allowed my husband to string along me and the sugar baby. I allowed that. I'm responsible. I was the grown woman. You know what I mean? And so the sugar baby took over. I allowed the sugar baby to take over to the point. I put her in the driver's seat to the point where I wasn't even allowed to go to my own son's high school graduation. I was completely kicked out of my husband's life, my son's life, and the sugar baby's life. They were the family. They were the family. I was on the outside. The sugar baby's friend, she had like two, three, four friends that was all up in my husband's wallet and cars and stuff. She was sharing him with her friends, and it really got crazy. But again, the man never wanted me. You know what I mean? So what am I losing? I'm not losing because he didn't want me. I was just moving out the way. We're still legally married, and I promised to be around until that younger boy graduated. Well, he did. I didn't realize I was hanging around and wasn't going to be allowed to attend the festivities. Now that was cruel. His family, I allow my legal in-laws to throw a party for my son, and I was not invited. I wasn't even invited to his graduation party, thrown by the in-laws. So that's all on me. I can't blame my ex. I can't blame the sugar baby no more. According to my daughter, my daughter's putting some strict rules on me now. Don't blame nobody else. Mom, blame you. Okay. I did all this. I allowed all this, guys. I allowed it. The other people have to speak for themselves. They have to speak for what they allowed. But I have to speak for what I allowed. I allowed all of this to happen in my face. I allowed all this to happen in my daughter's face. She didn't even really realize what was going on, to be honest, according to her, but I don't know. But I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better of taking complete responsibility and let them be them and do them and be happy. And I've never tried to stop them. I've never tried. They still together and he's married to whoever else. And I never stopped him from being whoever he wanted to be with. Did I ask him to let her go when at one point? Yeah. And when he said no, I just said, fine. I ain't argue, we ain't fight. There was no argument, no fight. I just went to my room. Because it had been going on for years and years anyway. So one no at this moment wasn't gonna change anything. So yeah, it was just really, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna get better on this channel of being completely responsible and stopping blaming other people. Even though they're wrong, it's their job to confess. It's their job to talk to God and get all that cleared out. And they may not have nothing to clear out. They may be just content. Some people are okay with these various lifestyles. Cheating, stealing other people's, they just don't ask for what they just take what they want. And that is kind of the norm these days. I'm the one that's odd. I'm realizing I'm the one that's odd. Hi, I see Miss Lewis. Somebody named Miss Lewis says, I love you. I love you too. And thank you, Miss Lewis. Then we have Dottie said hi. Hi, Dottie. I don't want to ignore the commenters. Thank you so much. Click like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And yeah, so I've decided that, you know, I'm going to take more responsibility, speak more about me, where I went wrong, what I did. You know what I mean? And stop blaming, you know. That's what I'm going to practice on this channel, And my daughter's going to help me, because I do want to be respectful. I spent many, 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 many years being respectful, you know, because I'm just not one. I mean, who cares? I mean, I can handle rejection. I handled it very well. I let him reject me and take 10 years to leave me. If that's not handling rejection well, then I don't know what is. That's just called being a damn fool, actually. But anyway, my foolish days are over. Being that silly woman is over. Being that, overly committed is over. Just being flat out dumb. Those days are over. I just don't even want to date anymore because I know how dumb I am in dating. I know how dumb I am in marriage. I was married for 32 years. 32 years of hard labor, foolish marriage. Two different ones, foolish in both of them. I was dumb in both. And regardless to what they did, it don't matter that they cheated. It don't matter what they did. I was dumb as fuck. That's the point that my daughter want me to get to. She don't want me to spend any time talking about them. She want me to focus on me. And I'm going to do that, y'all. I'm going to listen to her. And the first point that she wanted me to stick to was I was wrong for moving that girl in. Period. And I'm willing to stick right there. She admitted what she was wrong for. But will anyone else admit anything? Probably not. It's just between me and her. Thank God for my daughter being able to admit where she was wrong and then helping me admit where I was wrong. Although I already knew, but I like the fact that she challenged me to be able to just say it to her. Like, okay, okay. That's what family is for, to help each other, be able to confess, to help each other get closer to the Lord and to our own truths. And another thing that I'm comfortable on this channel admitting, I made a mistake by marrying the wrong person. I made that mistake. It don't even matter what he did. And he did some horrible, horrible things, but it don't even matter what he did. He left. He's married to someone new. And I have to admit the mistake. The moment he left, I had to admit the mistake. I thought he was the love of my life. I thought that God assigned us to be together. I thought he was my soulmate, my twin flame, the one person that I was waiting for my whole life. I thought that, guys, I really did. I have to admit that I was wrong. And I have to admit that I was wrong because he left. I have to admit that I was wrong because he touched my daughter inappropriately. I have to admit that I'm wrong because I allowed him. I gotta keep saying what I allowed someone to run off with my daughter's lover, someone that she still loved today and have a hard time letting go. I don't even think she wants to let her go. And I told her, love who you want to love, baby. Don't worry about me. Love who you want to love. I don't want you to be alone in this world either. She don't have a lot of friends. She don't have a lot of people in her life. So many people reject her and treat her bad. And I don't want her to feel guilty about loving anyone. And I don't want her to feel guilty if she's forced to share this girl with her stepfather. I don't want her to feel bad about it, feel guilty about it, because I speak against it. So I need to stop speaking against something that my daughter had no control over. She couldn't control that she loved this girl, and she couldn't control that her stepfather went too far and won't even speak up and explain what happened. He won't explain that he's right or wrong. He won't even address this with her. He won't even say, baby, I ain't done nothing. Or I'm sorry I took your girl. He ain't done neither one. He ain't denied it and he ain't stepped up. And that's unfair to her. But I have to step back and shut my mouth again on this topic for the sake of my daughter, for her heart, for her mind sake. This life ain't easy. I know, Dottie, this is unfair to her. I know. What's your daughter's name? Her name is L'Oreal. One of the most beautiful names, L'Oreal. And right now, I'm probably saying too much, but she's in the hospital over this right now. Pray for her. She's in the hospital. She has a hard time dealing with this. Now they go around acting like it's no big deal. Oh, she just a crackhead. Because my baby has a drug addiction, don't mean that she don't love. It don't mean y'all had the right to stab her in the back because she has a drug addiction or had one. Just because someone has a drug addiction, that's a reason to break their heart and ruin them. Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't feel that way, and I love her with all I got, and I don't care what her condition is. So anyway, my situation is complicated, guys. It's almost like the love of my life and the love of my daughter's life love each other. And there's nothing we can do about it but watch them. I'm not watching. I don't care really. But my daughter is affected by it. She still loved this girl, knowing that her stepfather is in the background competing. Just last year, he bought her a car. While he marrying a white woman, he helped the sugar baby get a car in my daughter's face. And my daughter's like, why didn't you come to me? You should have came to me. Don't go to my dad. Come to me. You know, guys, that's so. I hate that my daughter have to have a conversation like that with anybody. It's so embarrassing. Daddy, you subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. He has no idea what he's done. I mean, he do know, but he just don't care. As long as I'm hurting, that's all they care about. All this was to hurt me. Get back at me for some dumb stuff. But it don't affect me like it affect her. It only affects me because it affects her. You know what I'm saying, guys? But I'm gonna lay off for the sake of my daughter. Change my content around a little bit. At first, I was almost thinking about just shutting all this down and say, forget it. Because I really don't have any other social media, really. I'm not that active anywhere else, just here. But I said, well, let me give it a little time. Give it some time. And I'm glad I'm at the point where I'm okay if my daughter, the sugar baby, and the stepfather all stay connected. I'm okay with it. I just don't want to have anything to do with them. I will always love my daughter, of course, but I don't want to have anything to do with them. But if that's the kind of relationship she want to have with them, like it's kind of polyamorous, really, then even though he's married to somebody else that he cheated on me with, you know what I'm saying? But I allowed all this to happen. Therefore, I had to allow it to continue playing out. But I'm thankful I'm at that point where it doesn't make me want to hang myself anymore. It doesn't make me want to kill myself anymore. I am thankful for that, at the very least. Oh, your mom had a boyfriend named Rara. That's funny. That's cute. Thank you, Dottie, for being here. I really appreciate. I really appreciate your comments. Hmm. And he kicked my mom out of the house. Jesus Christ, yeah, that's so sad. Yeah, but I also accept the fact that my daughter and I, you know, there's just a part of her life that I don't need access to. I don't need access, view, or knowledge of her relationship with the sugar baby and my ex husband. I just don't need to know anything about it. But I will love her and be supportive of her regardless because I'm her mom. And this situation would not exist had I not brought him into our life. So I will never blame my baby. Never. People in my family have mocked her about it, you know, make her feel like she should rise up some kind of way and protect me and whatever. But that's not our place. It's not even my place. You can't stop grown folks from doing what they want to do. Okay. I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody stopping me from doing what I want to do. I don't. So I'm not going to stop other people from doing what they want to do. But I will always love and support my daughter regardless. But I just don't need to know anything about that part of her life. She can continue keeping it hidden. Mhm. They've been doing it all this time anyway, keeping it hidden. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. All of them have always felt that way, that it's really none of my business. And I've always felt that way. It's none of my business. Once I, you know, made my thing known to him, because he was my husband at the time, all I could do was communicate with him. I wasn't going to communicate with the kids about this. I've always communicated with him. All my negotiations were with him. Why didn't you take the girl and those boys and go and leave me and my girls alone? But he wasn't a fair negotiator. He wanted everybody and kicked me out. So I said I had to just let him think he was having his way and let everything play out. And then I reached back and snatched my daughters back. Thank God I did, right? So here we are today. I am fully responsible for everything that happened. And I'm going to keep my mouth mostly to myself. But will I kick out a fun song here and there and blah blah blah? Yeah, I will. I've earned that much, guys, right? Yeah, chit chat with my daughter about that. So, but yeah, God is good. And He's greatly to be praised, regardless. And I am going to produce better content on here. I'm going to figure out how to, express myself being fully responsible and not blaming others as much. Okay. All right. You all be blessed. Thank you so much. As a wife, he's fine. Okay. Right. Yeah. So, all right, guys. You all be blessed. Thank you for following me. Miss Dottie, you made the day. Thank you so much. All right. You all be blessed. Have a blessed day. And I'll be back soon. Y'all know me. Bye.